Don't make them the reason you are happy, because once that person leaves your life, you'll be left with nothing. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, then suddenly you are doing the impossible. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? When we strive to become better, then everything around us becomes better too. A person lives a real life if he is happy with someone else's happiness. Man's manners are a mirror in which his portrait is reflected. If you need more than one hand to count your best friends, you're not a great best friend. Life shall be built in doing and suffering, and creating religion shall mean for us the feelings, acts, and experiences of individual men in their solitude. Speak with caution, even if someone forgives harsh words you've spoken. They may be too hurt to ever forget them. It's your reaction to adversity, not adversity itself, that determines how your life's story will develop. We want all our friends to tell us our bad qualities. It is only the particular ass that does so whom we can't tolerate. Heavy food destroys the human body, therefore you need to look for the middle. Do not listen with the intent to reply, but with the intent to understand. The happiness of my life depends upon the quality of my thoughts. It is important that we forgive ourselves for making mistakes. We need to learn from our errors and move on. Whoever wishes to keep a secret must hide the fact that he possesses one. The person who writes often has to stand alone. The greatest evil that can befall a man is that he should come to think ill of himself. Ingratitude is a kind of weakness. Outstanding people are never ungrateful. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. Your failures don't matter, only the victories matter. So don't fear failure, but learn from it. Never discourage someone who is making continuous progress, no matter how slow. Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Success or failure depends more upon attitude than upon capacity. Go to foreign countries and you will get to know the good things one possesses at home. Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. Don't rely on others to tell you how to be happy or what makes a good life. It's up to you to follow your heart and find happiness from there. Treat your parents as you would like your children to treat you. To be pleased with one's limits is a wretched state. Gold itself is like a star, not to be seen in the sunshine of prosperity, and only to be discovered in the night of adversity. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. You can either be a negative or positive person in life, but only one will get you somewhere. The ideas gained by men before they are 25 are practically the only ideas that they shall have in their lives. Problems are the price you pay for progress. A winner's attitude, it may be difficult, but it's possible. To love only what happens no greater harmony. A creation of importance can only be produced when its author isolates himself. It is a child of solitude. Our friends show us what we can do, our enemies teach us what we must do. All disease begins in the gut. When you try to please everybody, you almost always please nobody. Don't focus on perfection or control. You are not in control of anything, and there is no such thing as perfection. True love never has a happy ending because true love has no end. If you're not careful, you will be disappointed and heartbroken many times, but it's how you respond that matters. Harmed, choose not to be, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. You can change other people, and it's rude to try. Sometimes you climb out of bed in the morning, and you think, I'm not going to make it, but you laugh inside remembering all the times you felt that way. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Not everyone is going to believe in what you believe in. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. Nothing is worth more than this day. Avoid gossip at all costs. It's poison to your mind. There are only two things wrong with money: too much or too little. If you give appreciation to people, you win their goodwill. But more important than that, practicing this philosophy has made a different person of me. There are two ways to do things right and again. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Success is not the absence of failure, it's the persistence through failure. When your work speaks for itself, don't interrupt. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. The only sad thing would be clinging to the past once it's out of reach. True greatness begins with understanding your own insignificance. Common sense and a sense of humor are the same thing, moving at different speeds. A sense of humor is just common sense dancing. It is not a lack of time, it is a lack of priority. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. If you need company to be happy, then it will make you weak. To succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it. That which cannot be cured with medicine is cured with a knife. That which is not cured by the knife is cured by red-hot iron. That which cannot be cured by red-hot iron should be considered incurable. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. To have what you've never had, you must do what you've never done. Of course, it's possible to love a human being if you don't know them too well. Everyone hears only what he understands. Never trust a woman who tells you what you want to hear. Trust the woman who tells you what you need to hear. The most important thing is to look ahead. The past is your anchor. One always has enough time if one applies it well. A person must be old enough to recognize their mistakes, smart enough to benefit from them, and strong enough to correct them. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Whatever is causing you worry or pain right now won't cause you worry or pain forever. Things change with time, and it will pass. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. If something keeps you happy, keep it to yourself. If you're right, but you're obnoxious about it, people won't see you as the good guy. If something is wrong, fix it now, but train yourself not to worry. Worry fixes nothing. Once a decision is reached, stop worrying and start working. Never give up on something you really want. It's hard to wait, but it's harder to regret. There will always be someone who is better than you at something. You have to accept that fact and learn from them. It's something that will help you grow. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. You'll never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You'll always be criticized by someone doing less. Writing down is the best way to remember if a quote in this video really resonated with you. Pause this video and share it with us in the comments below. The best way to keep your word is not to give it. You will annoy many people by doing what is right for you. The result may be the same, but you won't be. An intelligent person is not the one who knows a lot, but the one who knows himself. Men habitually use only a small part of the power which they actually possess. If you are undisciplined, you are a slave to your moods and your passions. There are moments when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. True is the name for whatever idea starts the verification process. Useful is the name for its completed function in experience. No one ever got tired of loving. They get tired of waiting, hearing lies, assuming, saying sorry, and hurting. The doctor heals the disease, but nature heals. You are either part of the problem or part of the solution. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. You don't like everybody, so don't worry about everybody liking you. Beware of those who seek constant crowds. They are nothing alone. When you accept your limits, you can overcome them. It's courtesy and kindness that define me today. Common sense is something everyone needs, few have, and none think they lack. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. I don't hate people, I just feel better when they're not around. Climb the mountain to see the world, not so that the world can see you. Winners have lost more times than losers have tried. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. A chain is no stronger than its weakest link, and life is, after all, a chain. To truly make a difference in the world, start by helping one person at a time. Anything more grandiose than this is either overly idealistic or politically motivated. Once a problem is solved, its simplicity is amazing. To kill time is not murder, it's suicide. Overthinking ruins you. It ruins the situation, distorts things, makes you worry about pointless questions, and makes everything much worse than it really is. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Love is an ideal thing, marriage a real thing. We don't walk away to teach people a lesson. We walk away because we finally learned ours. If what you have seems insufficient to you, then though you possess the world, you will yet be miserable. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Stay calm and serene regardless of what life throws at you. You will never see the great things ahead of you if you keep looking at the bad things behind you. Work good spirits and the striving of the mind for perfection, for knowledge, lead to results that adorn life. Enjoy every bit of your life to the fullest. Your compromises and sacrifices will be rewarded. Accept that things happen. It may not be for a reason, and you may have no control over it, but the first step to getting through it is accepting what it is. Why should you feel anger at the world as if the world would notice? Never bend your head, always hold it high, look the world straight in the eye. Never say maybe when you mean no. The fastest way to gain self-confidence is to do exactly what you are afraid of. You'll never be privy to their true nature. On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. Raise your sail and begin. Many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people they don't like. Not everybody wants to be your friend, and that's okay. You really don't want everybody as a friend anyway. Don't borrow anything you can't afford to replace. The harder you work for something, the greater you'll feel when you achieve it. Do what's right for you, even if it hurts others. Never take for granted the time you spend with the people you love. It could be over any day. Catch a good mood, it so rarely visits us. We are like flowers that never took the chance to bloom when we should have, and it's as if life has grown tired of waiting for us. The greatest suspense of life is not knowing who is praying for you and who is playing with you. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. The drunkenness of fathers and mothers is the cause of the weakness and sickness of children. The natural healing force within each of us is the greatest force in getting well. It is better to light a small candle than to curse the darkness. Agreed, but nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. If people took away the pain they caused you, you would lose the strength you gained. Never stop believing that you are making continuous progress, no matter how slow. Whenever two people meet, there are really 6 people present. There is each man as he sees himself, each man as the other person sees him, and each man as he really is. There is no more hopeless slavery than the slavery of those slaves who consider themselves free from fetters. You make the best decisions after going through difficulties, because the fear of experiencing the same difficulty again is the strongest motivator. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Wherever the crowd goes, run in the other direction. They are always wrong. The crowd is the gathering place of the weakest. True creation is a solitary act. When you get a different vantage point, it changes your perspective. It allows us to see things that maybe we should have seen a long time ago. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus. There is but one cause of human failure, and that is man's lack of faith in his true self. A man dies easily because he has too much will to live. We don't even ask for happiness, just a little less pain. People who say you can't and won't are usually the ones afraid that you will. Real loneliness is not necessarily limited to when you are alone. Limit yourself to the present. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. If someone is trying to bring you down, it only means you are above them. Prosperity is not without many fears and disasters, and adversity is not without comforts and hopes. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. If you want to get rich, think about saving as much as earning. Thanks for watching. To make sure you don't miss any future videos, please click the circular subscribe button in the middle of the screen. You can also check out more videos on the left or our playlists on the right. Don't forget to like and share to help us spread the word. Thanks you.